Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lilkatz. Welcome to my weekly, or soon to be weekly. I'm not sure how often I'm going to have my show, so it's hard to say. Um, to Communications from Home. I'm your host, Neshi Lilkatz, and I tell you what, it's. I wish I knew exactly how many times I'm going to be able to do my show. It depends on my energy, and so for right now, you know what I want to do? I want to do a weekly show with you. So, welcome to Communications from Home. I'm so glad that you're here with me this evening on March 2nd, 2021, right? And it's kind of like, hmm, you know, I've been recalibrating, and that's what this new series is all about um, is the recalibration and the reframing and the reorganizing of your life, period, right? And both your professional and your personal life. And so tonight is kind of like I'm starting a brand new book. It's not even a chapter in my life. It's a brand new book. And so tonight is like taking the book off the shelf and just kind of feeling the cover and that sort of thing, right? Because I don't know exactly what's going to go inside the book. Um, and tonight kind of marks the first time in a very, very long time that I'm producing my own show. Rob, our producer, is not sitting behind the curtain, and so I can turn to him and say, "Help!" Because Rob has produced all of my shows for over a year, and yeah, and so I'm going to explain a little bit about that later in the show, and so we can actually have a conversation tonight. That's what I'd like to do, is have a spiritual conversation about the questions that I posed in the promotion of the show. Is that do you feel like your life has changed so much that you're beginning a new leg of your journey? Or do you have the feeling that you're starting a brand new book rather than a new chapter of your life? And why did I ask those questions? Because that's exactly what's going on in my life. And I thought, what better way to move through this experience than to be here in Star Nations with our community, right? And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And so I thought maybe this might be a good topic for us to be able to um, chat about and share your experiences and share your tips, because I'm going to share mine in the hopes that it'll be helpful to someone. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just take a pause here just a little bit just to say hi to a few people and dusting up. Hey, look who's here, but Rob. Who are you? I know, right? And that's so weird, isn't it, Rob? I miss you. I do. And we just got started with this. It's dusting off the old producing skills that I haven't had to use in a long time. Look who else is here. Jocelyn's here too. Hey, Jocelyn, it's always good to see you in the house. And look at this. This is my friend from going south of me in Illinois. This is Carol. Hi, Carol. It's good to have you here. And Karen's here too. Karen and I need to get together soon. And so Karen's in the house. Good to have you here, lady. And look who's here. Rochelle's here too. And she's grounded in everything, I bet. I can always tell Rochelle's because it's always, hello, Neshi. Your hair is cute. Thank you. I've got a story about that and I'm going to share with you guys in a minute. And Rob says, I don't have to pay attention now. Oh, I don't know. I think you do. Who knows? I might just say, Rob, help. You never know. Oh, Sheridan grounded. See, that's it. That's what Rochelle always comments on. And thank you so much for that, Rochelle, because I'm going to talk a little bit about daily grounding, right? Checking in with yourself to make sure that you're grounded. And thank you so much, Rochelle, for sharing. I normally would kind of get my phone out and say, would you guys mind doing me a favor and sharing out the show for me, right? And I would appreciate that. I would. But, I kind of already did the sharing on my end earlier this afternoon. So all the places that I would normally share it out to, I have, except for the messenger. I need to set something up for that. And I kind of ran out of steam today in getting that done. So if you guys could send it over to a friend or something, somebody who you think would be enjoy the conversation or would like to add to the conversation, that would be great. The more the merrier, right? And we have Deanna's here too. Hello, Deanna. Good to have you in the house, lady. And she says, looking good, Neshi. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Judy says, hello, beautiful lady. Thank you so much, Judy. She's so sweet. And look who else is in the house but my good friend, Amy Daniels. Hi, Amy. Amy, I did get your message. I just kind of ran out of steam this afternoon and didn't quite get to all of my messages. So, but I will. I will. And thank you for connecting with me. I appreciate it. Rob is saying, what were we talking? I know, right? We're talking about recalibrating and the beginning of this journey. This journey that started for me a few months ago. Can you believe it? It's been 3 months. 3 months since my mom passed away, since she walked on. And I am doing better. Thank you. Do I still have grief? Yes. Am I still mourning? Yes. But it's not that raw, sobbing, gut wrenching kind of mourning. It kind of takes me by surprise on occasion. And for those people who have had contact with me and sharing about their experience when both their parents have walked on, or somebody very close to them has walked on, is that this is going to be with me for a very, 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 very long time. And so it's really a matter of just allowing it to live with me in a better way each day. Right. And so, so I am feeling better. The fatigue factor is still there, unfortunately. It's not as bad as it was. The sciatica I hardly ever notice it. So that's good. Glucose numbers, we're still dealing with that one a bit. And I am sleeping better. So all in all, everything is looking good. I'm just kind of moving at a slower pace than I usually have in the past, which is something that I want to include in our chat tonight. Okay. And guess what? I actually took notes so I would stay on task so that we can try to fit as much in as we can. And so I also wanted to let you guys know is that we are still archiving the recorded shows of this Communications from Home. And you can still find those recorded shows here at Facebook at the main fan page here at Facebook, but it also simulcasts over to YouTube. We're still doing that for this particular show. Okay. All right. And, if you're feeling, here's a good question I would like to ask you guys is how many of you feel like you are recalibrating? Yeah, it's like in the old days, like in the 80s, it was always called, what was it called? Not reimagining yourself, but reinventing yourself, right? How many people feel like that's what they're going through? I know that I have felt that on a couple occasions. 2017 was one of them. And this one is completely different than the 2017 one. This one has all new energy. It is brand new. And it's so new that I kind of call it's kind of like a void because people ask me, so for instance, what are you going to do with your mom's room? I don't know. Are you going to be doing a weekly show? I don't know. When will the Star Nations live stream shows come back online here at Star Nations? I don't know. When will the magazine get restarted? I don't know. I know that one's going to be in 2021, but I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be. So there's a lot of unknowns. That's why I said it was kind of like pulling a book off the shelf, sort of. But there's nothing. There's nothing on the pages inside. All we can do is run our hands over and hold the book close to us, and because there's nothing really written in it yet, right? There might not even be a title on it. So how many of you guys feel like this is something that you're experiencing? Because we're just coming out of the early panic around the pandemic. Most of us are kind of in a groove with how to wear a mask and be at home and how to get out there in the public again and that kind of stuff, which is true. But how many of you guys feel this way, like something that your life shifted so much in the last year or the last few months that you find yourself starting a brand new book in your life journey here on Earth? And hey, look who else is here. Roberta's here. Bobby. Oh, I'm sorry. Amy says, understand this was a hard afternoon. I think exhausting energy for a lot of people. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And Bobby says hi Bobby, by the way, there couldn't get the comment bar to show up. So hi, my friend. Nice to see you. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here, Bobby. I am. Bobby doesn't live that far from me either. And look who else is in the house. And that is Cindy. And she's saying she says me, that she's starting a brand new life, right? And Deb's here. Hey, Deb. Yay. Deb's here. Grounded. Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Deb. And welcome back from Florida. I know that you're there on vacation. How do I know that? Your friend shared it with me. Bobby says, most definitely recalibration over the last year. Yes. And especially, mine came because of my mom walking on, right? But Bobby, I know that you were quite ill. You had open heart surgery, right? And you've been healing from that physical surgery and definitely recalibrating. I wonder, did you feel like you were rebooted? That's kind of a computer term for it, but that's kind of how I felt getting rebooted. Robbie says, recalibration is not quite the word I would use, as it implies going back to what I always do, and retooling is more appropriate for me. Oh, good. And thank you for that, because there's some people probably feel the same way. And I say recalibrated because I'm going to share a little bit of something in a minute. Rochelle says, I have felt an uneasiness. I really need to focus on decluttering, physical and mental. Hard to explain, challenging. I know exactly what you mean. Paul and I have been slowly going through each of the rooms in our house, especially down here in the basement where my office is, and the storage area right next door. Yeah. Going through and donating a lot of things. Some of it's going to Goodwill. Some of it, most of it, is going to, it's a veterans, it's like Goodwill, but it's for veterans, run by veterans. And so we've been helping out homeless veterans and veterans that are just getting reestablished in their own apartments and that sort of thing. And so that's what we've been doing. And for a triple fire, I tell you what, sometimes it's hard for me to sit in the quiet, in the stillness. There's a part of me that says, go, go, go. Yeah. Even though my energy reserves are coming back. They really are. But it doesn't take long for me to get fatigued. Yeah, unfortunately. And Carol says, I'm starting to feel hopeful again. Yay, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, that hopefulness, I know what it feels like to be hopeless, believe it or not. Yeah, a time in my life when I really felt hopeless. And with my mom walking on, a lot of people use the word freedom for me, right? You get your freedom, or you get a sense of freedom, which is true. But there is definitely a resurgence of hopefulness. Wait till I'm going to share something else with you guys about this past weekend too. Amy says, definitely along with spring energy and having to walk my talk for changes I've wanted now. Well, do it. I know, right? Walking the talk. And it's more than It's more than just the rhetoric and the words that we use, because we can all use the right terms, right? The right words. But it's not until we put our behavior and emotions behind those right words that we actually begin to walk our talk. And I so get that, Amy. And it's hard. It's not an easy task to do when you're doing it for real. When you're doing it for real. Judy says, I'm still trying to recover a year later. It's been very hard, but I'm still here and determined. Good for you, Judy. Good for you. You know, and one of the things I learned over this past year, and especially the last 6 months, is that those early studies that I did about breath work, now I know why Spirit brought those opportunities to me to learn about breath work, because I certainly needed it and I used it. And so, you know, those deep breaths got me through a lot. They really did. Paul, drop something upstairs. Don't know what that was. Karen says, I've been under construction since 2019. It's a work in progress. Due to way more moving parts than I could ever imagine, this pandemic has taken my perspective to new levels. Yes. And it's funny, isn't it? Don't you think, Karen? Funny, not ha-ha funny, but kind of ironic funny, is many of us have spent decades studying, going to classes, meditating, doing all the right things practically, right? And here we find ourselves at a time in this new energetic field that we really have to even go deeper. And we're thinking, how in the heck can I go deeper? What have I been doing for the last, for me, it'd be 9 years, you know? What have I been doing these last 9 years? How can I go deeper? But it's true. And sometimes that deeper isn't necessarily like digging, you know, going into this tunnel kind of thing. No, I think for me, it has to do with being in the quiet, that stillness, really sitting with the term peace and what does that really feel for me? Not so much the definition of the word, but the emotions behind it, right? And then rereading the definition for it and realizing how much deeper I can take that with myself. Because when I'm sitting in meditation, a lot of times, you know, the mind starts to wander, right? And so I go back to the breath. And the word I chose was peace. Peace. And so going deeper, yes, most definitely. And Cindy said, end of my second Saturn. Oh my gosh. Good for you. You made it. You made it, Cindy. It's a good time to party. Number one, celebrate that. And yes, definitely. I remember what that was like. Mine was in 2017. I remember. And Rob is saying, I felt a big surge over the weekend with the knowledge that I needed it to tackle something I need to address. Then it hit, and I'm really grappling with it again. Yeah. And I think that's what I meant about going deeper. We've taken off a layer or two, right? Or 10. And now when we have that situation or those emotions or whatever is going on coming back around, and we're taking a deeper look at it, we're actually getting to the core. And what does that mean, right? For me, it means we're nearing or at that stage of healing that where we've worked through 3 of our bodies, and now we're working on the 4th body. And when that's what it means to go deeper, is because you got that huge layer next off. And now we could be at that final layer, that 4th layer. And once we get through that 4th layer, then in my world, that's a complete healing. And sometimes it does take years for some things. For other things, it might go quite quickly. And it could be you have it done in a weekend, you know. I don't know. But that last layer sometimes, I tell you, it really tests our mettle. It really does. Jocelyn says, the moon brought some awakening to me. Mm-hmm. Me too. It did. And it was one of those aha moments. Cindy says, I'm in Polly Joe's Trinity Mystery School. You are? Yay! Good for you. That is so good to hear, Cindy. And, and PJ is such a good teacher. Karen says, I've been following my spiritual path in earnest for over 20 years. I'm definitely propelling myself to the deeper. You're spot on. Exactly. Because we've been around the block a few times, huh, Karen? That spiritual block. And yeah, and so when we go deeper, things that we thought we understood, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize at the core what peace really means for me, right? And even freedom is about peace for me. It's that emotion behind it, and sitting with it. And I tell you, sometimes it's not comfortable to sit with it, especially in the quiet, because there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. And for me, I sit in a very completely darkened room. Can't tell if my eyes are open or closed. And so there's no outside stimuli. I usually try to meditate when Paul's gone, or he might have the music playing really low downstairs and he could be working on a puzzle or something like that, or on his own laptop, and it's quiet. And so yeah, there's nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide. And and I'm going to share with you in just a minute what I'm doing, and I'm hoping it'll be helpful to you. Put that aside. I got to get a drink of water. So one of the things that was helpful to me was when I sat down and asked myself, what's important right now? And this was right after Mom died, right? It was right afterwards. And the first thing that came was I was so tired, was sleep, rest. And that was it. That's all I could do. Sleep, rest. And then when I started feeling like I had a little bit more energy, what was the next thing I can do? And that was being grounded. And so, just double checking in, making sure, because I have an activated Merkaba. So, it helps me to ground all the time. And sometimes what it is learning about, if I'm feeling like I'm ungrounded, which chakra is it? And working with that particular chakra, and trying to understand why am I not grounded in that particular chakra, right? And asking myself those kind of questions, calling in my spiritual team, help me understand this, and then help me to bring the chakra into balance. Yeah. And so in those early days, that was every day. Now, not so much. Not so much. Oh, my phone. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to see if I can turn down the sound. Those notifications, I should have shut them off. I totally forgot. All right. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is I asked myself this question. If we're doing this, because I'm talking to my spiritual team, if we're doing this recalibration journey and we're at the very beginning of this, where do we start? Tell me, how are we supposed to start this? And I clearly heard you go back to the beginning. And I had to ask for clarification. It's like, what does that mean? Go back to the beginning. And for me, it was taking that ancient proverb about chop wood, carry water. It's a Chinese proverb. In other words, you are taking care of just the daily needs, okay? And if you look at all your bodies, what are just the basic needs for you to take care of? And so that phrase, which I learned, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, can't believe that. Chop wood, carry water. And in meditations, because, I wasn't meditating while mom was here. My meditation time got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until my meditation time was really literally sometimes 5 minutes or not at all. And so one of the things I restarted, I went back to the beginning, was to reestablish my meditation practice and make a commitment to myself that I am going to do this every day, to come and sit in the quiet, in the dark, and to be quiet. Yeah. And so I do the unity breath portion. I bring love for grandmother earth and grandfather sky to me, and that sunrise or sunset, right? And then when I get that feeling of love, I call my full team in to come sit with me and to share with me how, what, when is the next step. And if the next step is just meditation and to sit there quietly, then that's what I do. It's not like there's not a lot of doing, actually. There's not. There's a lot of being. And so one day, not too long ago, about 2 months ago, they gave me the message about the healing the inner child. And I think some of you were in the chat for that particular show that I did in the private group about healing the inner child, the trauma of experiencing a parent die. Their physical body, right, is dying, and how you might not be consciously aware of it, but it's occurring. That trauma is occurring. Your conscious self is dealing with the everyday stuff, right? Getting things done, making sure they're taken care of, making sure they're getting their meds and that kind of thing, and getting through the doing part of watching your parent die. But your inner child is going through quite a trauma. And so when my spiritual team talked to me about that, that's when I decided that I really wanted to get into grief counseling and through hospice. And Paul and I started that, it's got to be seven weeks now. And that was so helpful. But there was other things about healing the inner child that came to the surface. And in fact, one just happened on Sunday. Yeah, and the other thing is just being really aware and watchful of the synchronicities and things that get brought to you. Even though you might deem them as a negative, is to really kind of look at it and say, okay, why did I react so strongly to that? What's in it? What's there for me to be aware of, to take care of? What's my side of the street stuff, right? Well, that's happened on Sunday. And sometimes family, our birth families, our blood families, they're the ones that bring the real challenges to our lives, right? And provide the opportunity for that. And that's what happened on Sunday. And it took me a while because I kept looking for logic. And my spiritual team says, stop looking for logic in an illogical circumstance. There's no logic in this. There's all emotion. And so where do you want to put your energy? And so I, thankful that they reminded me. And I started looking at, okay, what's this for me? Well, it turns out, because I reached out for help in 2 different places, and it turns out for me that it really is about healing that inner child, and came up with the anti-archetype. And Native American, it's probably in other cultures too, but there's a certain quality of an auntie, and it's kind of like almost a stereotype at times. But that archetype is really very nurturing and caring, but they'll also make you toe the line, and they will, um, yeah, they're your second mom, basically, or third mom. And so I realized that I never really had that kind of experience with my aunts, my mom's sisters, or my dad's sister. I came close with one of my aunts on my mom's side, but that wasn't until I was an adult. And I thought I tried to be the best aunt that I could be to my nieces and nephews. But what it turns out is that um, they may not want that. It doesn't fit into their lives. And so where do I put this archetype of auntie? And I realized that I have to be the best auntie to me. That's healing my inner child, you know? And what does that mean? What does that mean? It's that nurturing energy. And I thought I was being nurturing to myself, but we're going deeper. We're going deeper. And that's okay. But that is the situation that came to my door, literally to my door. And tonight I can actually be thankful for the opportunity. I wouldn't have done it on Sunday night, but tonight I can be thankful for that opportunity and for the help that came my way because I reached out for it. Yeah. And so when we're going back to the beginning, it really is still about healing our emotional and mental traumas. If there's something out there that you haven't addressed, or perhaps you haven't addressed it in all your bodies yet, yeah. In this next book, or if for you, if it's the next chapter, we still have to do that healing work. We still do, because that's our soul growth. That healing work of healing our emotional and mental traumas, that is our soul work. That is our soul growth. And so, yeah. So really, it's going back to the basics. It really is. And of course, I mentioned the meditation every day. And sometimes it's not every day. I try not to be too harsh with myself. It's like over the weekend, Paul and I took a weekend away. It was only 24 hours. It wasn't, I don't want to call it a respite weekend because that's what we used to do with mom. But we had a sitter here for Georgie, and Paul and I just took, Saturday night and Sunday day and did a micro kind of getaway. But I didn't meditate while I was away. And I didn't do Tai Chi while I was away. And so it, is to be have a little of balance about that. And it doesn't matter if you call it meditation. You could call it going out in nature for a walk, as long as you're being quiet and watchful and feeling nature, right? Or you can call it mindfulness. You can call it sitting in the silence, right? It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it. Yeah, don't get caught up in the label is what I was told. Is don't get caught up in the label. It's sitting in the quietness and being with yourself and really feeling what it's like to be at peace. What is that for you? And if you choose if maybe it's joy or maybe it's stillness or whatever it is to sit with it and be it. Right? And then, exercise. And I'm saying light exercise. I used to be really limber, flexible. And so I got started stretching again every day, doing some stretches, getting flexible again. And also started Tai Chi again. I haven't done Tai Chi in 10 years. And that is more about that movement of energy, right? And the balance. And so whatever that would be for you, some people would be yoga, restorative yoga. It could be anything that will help you feel good about your body again, right? And so, we're covering all 4 of our bodies with this, and we're getting back to basics. Feeding your body well, as healthy as possible, right? Now, I'm not saying don't have comfort food, because I think we need that, especially when we're healing our inner child. A small portion isn't going to hurt. But to eat as healthy as you can, because that way your body has time to start really healing some of those physical traumas, right? And here's one for me that, as most of you know me, I can be a workaholic. I can. And I got a lot of fire and a lot of energy. I used to. and so sometimes it's hard for me just to slow down. But there's balance. And this is what I learned in one of my meditations about balance was, is to balance your work life, to balance your healing work. You're not meant to do your healing work 24/7 consciously. It's like working on it all the time, is to take some time to integrate and to be in that quietness. The spiritual studies, not every book you read needs to be about some aspect of spirituality. It could be something that's fun for you, right? Here's one. I know that they threw this one in, but housework. Whatever you do around your home to maintain it. Mine was, just choose 3 things. 3 things every day, 3 things, whether it's to dust or whether it's to do the floors, or just 3 things. That's it. And let everything else go. 3 things. And of course, the business work, because I still have starnations. We're on pause for a lot of things, but there's a lot of things in the background that I have to do to keep starnations thriving. Okay. And so there's some things that still have to get done. And so what my team was talking about was balance. And here's a big piece of it, is that I have to fit in playtime for that balance. And so it's going back to basics. What's important to get done? And do that. You have to chop wood, carry water, right? Yeah, just getting back to basics. And here's one that I just remembered, I should say. They reminded me, my team did, one day in meditation. They had me imagine what it would feel like if I believed that my soul was here on the outside, encompassing my body, and that my personality, or that ego self, wasn't so much up front all the time. What would that feel like if your soul was on the outside, and that's what everybody saw the first thing? What would that feel like? And I have to admit, it was like, oh my God. I don't know, it's pretty vulnerable, right? But that's the point. That's the point. And so it's just remembering that we are a soul first, and our soul is holistically, when we're feeling our wholeness of a being, right? It's our soul first, and then it's our other bodies. Yeah. Because we say that all the time, don't we? Is to remember that we are a spirit experiencing the physical world. Now we say the words, but do we really sit with it? And do we do it? Right? And are we being it? That's the other thing, is that being rather than doing, right? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to pause here and get caught up with you guys. Gotta scroll up. All right. We got Deb. Deb is saying, I felt a significant shift upward. I have a truer acceptance of who I am, less often trying to be who I think I should be. I am also having an easier time saying what I'm really thinking, finding my voice. Oh my goodness, that's huge, Deb. That really is. Because to me that's about being authentic, right? That's being your true self, your soul, right? Yeah, it's good. It's not easy, but it's good. Bobby is saying, heartfelt healing. Breath shifted due to COVID and now learning to rewalk after a leg trauma. I was in a wheelchair for a month, heavily medicated. Then I heard my team say, be done. You're stronger than this. So Wednesday, stopped all drugs mm, and pushed myself to walking into my third PT appointment. Yay! They couldn't believe it. No logic, but believed. Plus, I'm a bit stubborn, and my team makes me so hopeful. Well, yeah, Chris, my mom would have said that was mind over matter, right? And there's a place for that. There really is. Um, so good for you, because we have to believe that we're whole, right? Yeah, and whatever it is that we release, that we determine, discern for ourselves, that's no longer necessary or doesn't support us anymore, and we let it go. In that release, we feel lighter, of course, but I think that we also get to the point of feeling like, okay, now that that's gone, what do I want in its place, right? Yeah. So when it's be done, you're stronger than this, right? You decided what you wanted to replace that with. Yeah, and that's really that's starting from scratch. Mhm. Exercise. I know. I know. But you know what? It's not like I'm out running. I used to run a mile every day. Can you believe that? I used to. Years ago. But I did do it. Um, yeah. I used to do martial arts too a long, long time ago. But there is something for me when I was thinking about considering what exercise, and I was having this conversation with my spiritual team and meditation is like, okay, so show me what is it that is good for me, for my highest good and soul growth, that I should be doing on the physical when you're talking about exercise. Show me what that means. And really, it was really about, for me, it was just about being flexible. And I am going to start walking again because it's getting warmer out. Um, and to prepare for the Scotland trip in September with Mini Cansman. Yeah. So, I want to be able to do the hiking without sucking wind. And so that means I have to get out there and I have to move, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm working out 5 days or 7 days a week, doing that kind of strenuous exercise. I am stretching nearly every day. I'm doing Tai Chi every day. Um, and so it's about being in balance, you know? Yeah. Sometimes we have to bite the bullet. Let's see. And Bobby is saying, where are you doing Tai Chi? Love doing it. I know. Actually, what I did, Bobby, is I found a really good DVD, two of them actually. Because when Paul and I, because this is the other thing that's going to happen, I don't know when, and I don't know where we're going yet. We have the RV, and Paul and I are going to be on the road sooner or later. And I never know if we're going to have good Wi-Fi connection. And so I got DVDs so that I could use my player to do this wherever I want. And once I remember the sequences and all of that, I don't necessarily need the DVD. And it would be fun to do it in a group again. That's for sure. But I haven't found anybody local. So maybe what we have to do is kind of put it out there for those of us that live in the Toma and Sparta and maybe even Boston area. Um, if there's a good place to do Tai Chi, and if they're taking students because of the virus. So yeah, I'll let you know if I find out. Deb says, I spent 2.5 weeks in an RV with my sister, the most time we've been together as adults. I was amazed at the range of emotions I felt while there, and little things triggered so many past feelings. I know. Like I said, I think our blood family, we chose them for a reason, and also to help us with those opportunities. Now, when they're happening, they certainly don't feel like opportunities. But when you can take that breath and you can step back and ask your spiritual team, what's really going on here? Why is this occurring? Why am I experiencing this? And what's my responsibility in this? What's in it for me, sort of? And so, yeah, that's a tight space, an RV. You have to really like that other person. Karen says, a soul on the outside deep. I'm definitely going to have to sit with that. Exactly. Literally. Sit in the stillness and then the quiet and imagine what it would feel like if you believed your soul resided around you on the outside, not on the inside. Because so many of us think our soul self is inside, or we think about our spirit self being separate or over there, just like our inner child is over there, right? That's not really connected or a part of us, or we might think they are, but we don't think of it in a holistic way. Yeah, it's a shift in consciousness. Cindy said, I have decided not to hold on to rheumatoid arthritis. Woo-hoo! Good one. Good one. And there's a lot of holistic medicines out there for that, right? Energy medicine, Tai Chi, moving the energy through our bodies so it doesn't get stuck. Rob, part of what this new push in me is having me do is to add German to my list of languages that I'm learning. Oh my goodness. You and Paul will be able to talk, have a conversation. Yeah, actually, this is kind of strange. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was Monday. There was a live stream held by a Potawatomi tribal member. I only know his name. I don't know him personally. And he is one of the language teachers. And they were doing a live stream from their private group, which I'm a member of. And they just started doing this. And I thought, you know what? It's been a long time since I conversed, use the words, right? And I form a phrase or a sentence. And so, yeah, I think that I don't really consider it a foreign language, but it's another language. And there's something to that because for me, language and culture and beliefs from that culture are intertwined. When we lose the language, we lose the culture. And so, yeah, of course, that for me, it's also about, do I want to keep that belief or not, whatever that belief is. So it goes in a deeper way. I'm on day 2, not conversing much. Are you conjugating verbs yet? Oh, the umlaut. See, I know a little bit. I know gobble is a fork. A teelöffel is a teaspoon, and a messer is a knife. I know those. So there's things that we're doing when we're recalibrating, when we are taking the time to sit in that quietness, to understand what direction are we going in, right? And sometimes what we have to do is start back at the beginning at our basics so that we make room energetic and other room for the new direction that we're going in, what we're going to be creating. We need to be able to make that room for that to occur, right? Yeah. And for the meditation for me is really being able to slow down, truly slow down, and to literally sit in the quiet in the dark. So one of the other things my team has me doing, and I don't know if you guys, if this will be a resonant for you or not, but it's saying pausing a few times a day to turn my thoughts to what it would feel like to think of myself as having my soul on the outside, right? And along with that is to really consider those phrases, those I am phrases, right? One of our show hosts, who used to be a show host here, used to talk about the I am a lot, right? And thought I understood it, thought I took it in, thought I embraced it until my team said to me, say to yourself and out loud, I am my soul. I am joy. I am love. And I am whole. Okay. Yeah. The next step for me is to say that in a mirror and looking in my own eyes. That's my homework from my spiritual team. And I haven't done that part yet. But I kind of got stuck on I am my soul. I am my soul. And honestly, that's the first time I've ever said that phrase in that way and sitting with it in meditation. Yeah. So that's what I meant about going back to basics and going deeper. Getting back to the basics and taking it deeper. And many times we get that synchronicity or those intuitive hits or those opportunities that come up that show us where we need to do a little bit more healing or a lot more healing to really be able to settle into our new vibration, our new frequency, right? Yeah. All right. So here is the list of the spiritual work that I've done in this last week or two. Okay. Now, I met with Julie Hedges. Julie does my annual solar return. That's astrology. And so she had gotten mine done, and we met in February. And she shared with me about 2021, which was, oh my goodness. And we're going to cover that in another show. Okay. We're going to take apart these certain ones and take a look at them. Okay. The other thing that we just did, in fact, on Monday was when she did my astrology for me for 2021 for my sun sign, is I had asked her if she could do me a favor, find some time if she could to teach me about the moon sign, specifically my own moon sign, because I've never spent any time with it. I've always spent most of my time with my sun sign or my ascendant. And my moon sign is Pisces, and I don't know anything, next to nothing about Pisces at the time. And so we did do that, and we're going to meet again one more time around it, I think, anyway. I need to go over a few things and see if I have any questions and maybe take it a little bit further. And so that came from a dream that I had, and I shared that with you guys about being in that dirigible and looking up at the moon. Yeah. And so part of the spiritual work that I'm doing is those aspects that my spiritual team has brought to me to understand it and to bring it in. And I recently had a card drawing with a friend of mine. She offered, it was over the family situation. And so I took her up on it. I reached out and I said, yes, please. And one of the things that came out of that card draw is she was using the Osho Zen cards, the tarot. And the card that she drew for me was courage. And there was a piece in there that really struck home for me. It was about the seed. The picture was a flower growing between two large boulders. There's like, yeah, it was true. It was a lot of boulders, and there is one flower. Let's see, a large flower and a smaller flower out of the same plant, but it was growing up between the crack of two boulders, large rocks. And the information coming from the cards was about the seed can't know what will happen. The what will happen, or its potential to be a flower. All the seed knows is that it's a seed, and seeds can be dormant and be that way, be a seed for hundreds, thousands of years before they sprout. It has to be given the best environment and situation to actually burst and sprout. Okay. And so it doesn't know its potential to be a flower, that the path is unknown for the seed. There's no guarantee. Many times it's in the dark, and it drops its hard shell to grow. The sprout is soft and vulnerable, and it only knows to grow toward the source of light. And I thought, if that doesn't describe my recalibration, I don't know what does. And so, being able to take the opportunity when it comes, those gifts when they show up, right? When a friend says, can I do a card draw for you? Because maybe they know a situation that's happening in your life, say yes, right? Search out the people that you know as resources, to help you with healing work, or for the astrology, or for anything that can help you do your healing, and to do your spiritual work, right? Your healing work. And I am doing automatic writing still. That's still going on. And I still do dream work. Those are the spiritual things that I do on a regular basis now, getting back to basics. Back to basics. And then, adding in the grief work too, the counseling. So I'm hoping that those tips, whether if they resonate with you, yay. I think we're here to help each other to do that, right? All right, I'm going to get caught up with you guys. In the chat, Carol says, I started in a weekly journal group in January and loved it. Sometimes I'm embarrassed because my journaling goes really deep, deeper than the others. I don't want to feel weird or make them feel weird. It is the truth me that comes out. And she goes on to say that inner child gets scared of what the wise woman knows. Exactly. So, but here we go, right, Carol, is that we get to be our own nurturers. That wise woman gets to nurture your inner child. It's almost like being your own grandparent or your own auntie. Yeah. And to give ourselves something that we may have not received from an adult when we were a child. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that, Carol. But Rob says, but I learned a phrase I had to share with my father. Die shine, present, die. Okay. I don't know what that says. I can't even say it. Hopefully you'll give us the translation to that. Inside joke in the family. Oh, okay. All right. Amy says, speaking of exercise, I finally got onto my treadmill walk while listening. Yay! And that's all we have to do. We don't have to do the, putting on the incline and going as fast as we possibly can, right? When it's just a matter of a walk, just walking. Sometimes we make it hard on ourselves and we need to. Carol says, Rob Coulter, is Julie okay? You put out, I'll call. Oh, I know a little about that. She's going to have her surgery that she was supposed to have last month. Um, oh, good, good. Thank you. I guess she is. She's doing her own recalibration. Yes, she is. Love it. The journey of the seed. Exactly. I might call it that. Don't you think that's a good name for it? All right. Looking at the time, we're at the top of the hour. I wanted to share with you guys one more thing before we say goodnight. Is that I realize that sometimes when I think that I've shared something, it might not always come out as I thought it was going to. Or perhaps there was just so much information that some people, what they do is they grab one piece, but they didn't hear the other. You know, do you ever do that? So I thought I'd repeat myself a little bit here. Is that what's happening at Star Nations? Okay, so here's this. Most of you know that I am taking a break from a large portion of what Star Nations provides. And so there's a lot of things here at Star Nations that are put on pause. Okay. So for instance, the magazine is on pause. We do have the March issue coming out on March 10th. That will be the last issue for a few months, maybe until October even. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm waiting to hear from my higher self, my soul self, to say, what are we doing? And so, but we are getting that restarted. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like in the new world. But yeah, look for that later this fall. The shows. Now, you know that at one point we had like 12 different live stream shows here at Star Nations. And over this past year, it dwindled and dwindled and dwindled. Well, it's because my energy wasn't in it for a really long time. And so I decided that we were going to put on pause the other live stream shows. I knew that I was going to need to do my show, this one, Communications from Home. It's kind of like putting Star Nations on the back burner on simmer. We still need a little fire under it, right? And I still want to stay connected with you guys. So I'm saying weekly, but it might end up only being a couple of times a month. I don't know. It depends on how my energy is. The other shows, I left it up to the show host on whether or not they wanted to continue on their own, through their own businesses, if they want to do their live stream shows, because we have their Facebook pages and that sort of thing. I don't know what the decision is for a couple of them. I do know that Orchard and Carl Franklin, they won't be doing a show for Living in Two Worlds anymore. I don't know if they're completely retiring from live stream or if they're going to do something else. I don't know. And when I do find out, I'll let you guys know where you can find them and when and where. Okay, for any of the show hosts. Polly Joe is going to have her live stream show. I'm not sure exactly how often in a month. And I do know Rob shared with me that it was going to be on YouTube. So, but you'll watch for the promotions for that, for her. Okay. She's going to continue her show through her own business. I don't know what Marine Man is doing, Angel Therapy. I haven't heard yet. I think Julie is trying to make a decision on what to do about cosmic conversations. So watch for promotions on that one when she makes a decision. You know that Minnie Kansman ended her show in January. Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Well, Connie ended her show in January as well. Yeah. So when I'm able, because there's a lot of energy to hold for show hosts. And so when I'm able to hold that big of an energy field again, we'll bring something back, but I'm not sure when. Okay. And I'll let you guys know. You know that. I'll let you know. So I just wanted to say that again, just in case somebody missed it. Okay. And Carol says she's got time to go. Okay, good. Thank you for joining us, Carol. Rob says the pigs are eating the strawberry fields. Okay. He says his father was fond of saying someone dug into a meal. Oh, I get it. All right. All right. Good one. And Rochelle says, I really needed the show. Thank you. You're welcome, Rochelle. And Polly Joe is going to be doing a weekly show. And I think it's going to be on YouTube. And Amy says, we will still have access to recordings. Absolutely. Any of the shows, any of the past shows that have been done are going to be archived at Facebook. Just look under videos in the either at the main fan page or under the individual fan page for a show. Their past recordings will happen, or you can go to our YouTube channel to catch the recordings. And I think I have, do I have that? I think I do somewhere. I do. And I'll put that in the comments. This is the Star Nations YouTube channel. Got to spell. It counts. Okay. So I put that in the comments. Oops. And Deb is saying, it was wonderful listening to you tonight. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for your comments too, Deb, because those were helpful. Ed, thank you. Yes. Ed will not be doing a show through Life Wisdom. I'm not sure if he's doing a live stream show through his personal business. I haven't heard, but when I do, I will share that, Bobby, where you guys can see him, where you can find him. Okay. And it's good to see you too, Bobby. Okay. That was, oops. What? I ended up there twice. Okay. Lisa's here. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for all you've done and blessings on your journey, Nesh. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. Good to have you in the house too. Good luck to you all. I thank you, Judy. Good. Thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Okay. Now, I will be back next week. And so join me again on Tuesday night for Communications from Home. We're going to continue with the recalibration journey, and we're going to take a little bit deeper into the basics. Okay, like what is it that we can do? So join me at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern for Communications from Home on Tuesday night, next Tuesday. So with that, enjoy the rest of your evening, and Bama Mina. That's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.